Event 6 brings us to the biggest test of teamwork and strength. It's time then for block pushing. Hello everybody and welcome back to the VALVIK Marble League. With me as always, Frankie. We've got for you today the quintessential team event, the block pushing. But last time out in the VALVIK Marble League, it was the Bubblegum Ballers that took gold in the Funnel Endurance and have now distanced themselves by 19 points from Team Virtuoso. Carbons and Sailors tied on points in 3rd and 4th. With 11 events to go, anything can still happen. But let's get right to it with Event 6, block pushing. We start us off with the Sushi Squad, Shotgun and Sailors, and the Golfbirds. Rules of block pushing are very simple. You go from left to right down this track to push the block as far into the right side as possible. The longer you push the block, the better the score is for you. For the moment, the Sushi Squad get a score that's over 60. That puts them provisionally in 1st. However, of course, you have 4 runs for block pushing, and all 4 runs count towards your final score. So teams need to be vigilant, and they need to have good scores across all 4 of their runs. Now we move on to run 2 with Golfbirds now on the front lane. Every time there's a new run, the lanes switch so that every team can get a good chance here. But oh, that's already a very good run then from the Sailors in lane 4. They're almost to 65. They get above 60. That is a very good run then from the blue team. The Sailor on lane 4. They already had a strong run from their previous attempt. But this time it's a whole lot better. Almost getting to a 65. I think that's going to be a 64. Meanwhile then, everybody else sitting behind the 50 with the Golfbirds in a 34. Still, run 3 now. And now it's the Sailors that are on top. Rolling down now. And oh, it's the Shotgun there. Not a bad run. They're almost a little bit worse than the Sailors, but that is still a very good run then from the Shotgun. These teams have a lot of different strategies here for block pushing. The best one we've seen so far is the strategy where lead marble leads the way with the other 3 behind them, and as the lead marble gets into the block, the other 3 will give them that push to that extra boost of speed to push the block further into the left side. Let's see if anybody can replicate this today as we get to the final run for these 4 teams here. And oh, that is going to be poor runs for everybody here. Sushi Squad below 55, everybody else below the 60. Golfbirds with the highest one in this particular heat. But with their previous scores, I don't think it's going to be a very decent score here for the Golfbirds. We will have to check the results. Meanwhile then, the Sailors will take the lead for now with a 2-3-6. Massive margin over the Sushi Squad in 2nd. Let's move on then to the Balls of Zen, Team Echo, Team Virtuoso, and the Peculiar Peaks. Big, happy hunting ground here for Balls of Zen. Can they do anything? I know it's only looking at a very good run so far. Over 70 for the Balls of Zen. Of course, Balls of Zen, happy hunting ground for this team. They come in as gold medalists and silver medalists in the last 2 runs of the block pushing, and it's a very decent run so far. Everybody else just above 55 with the Peculiar Peaks right on that 55 area, 56. But it's a 72 for the Balls of Zen to start them off. That's a very good score. But let's see if they manage to keep it up now. And they're rolling down now. A little bit of trouble there for Team Echo. Let's see if they can recover. And not really, though. Team Virtuoso, meanwhile, with a very poor run there. They got stuck at the entrance of the block area. Let's check the replay now. Look at lane 4. Yeah, look at that. Those 2 front marbles there got stuck. And, well, the block went on without them. But meanwhile, it's another good run from the Balls of Zen, just below the 60 with a 59.5. Everybody else behind the 55. Run 7 now. We're moving very quickly here. They're rolling down now. But this time, Team Virtuoso, it's a much better run from Team Virtuoso. Almost to the 65. It's going to be a 64 retribution almost for Team Virtuoso, who had a very poor run. But it's not going to be anywhere near to what the Balls of Zen have done in their first attempt. Meanwhile then, Peculiar Peaks just inching closer and closer to the 60, but so far not looking very good for the brown team. It's a 63.5 for Team Virtuoso. Balls of Zen with a 49 as well. Hopefully that doesn't hurt their overall score too much as we get to the final run for these 4. Going down now, Team Echo there with a very interesting strategy. Can they make it work? Ah, almost. But Team Virtuoso, meanwhile, with another run over 60. They've pretty much rescued their poor attempt that they had at the beginning of their runs here. Meanwhile, Peculiar Peaks, again, another run that's below 55. That's going to be very poor for the Peculiar Peaks there, unfortunately. And the Balls of Zen above 55. Let's see how much that helps them. I think they're going to be helped out a lot by their first push. Let's see the final results. Look at Balls of Zen take the lead. Team Virtuoso stay in third. Team Echo and Peculiar Peaks 4th and 7th. But that's halfway down through the event already, and it's the Balls of Zen in first. Sailors and Team Virtuoso with Team Echo tying on points, but crucially, Team Virtuoso are ahead because of their highest individual result. Golfbirds, meanwhile, in last as we get to run 9 now with the Sky Scouts, Carbons, Violet Vermin, and the Disco Neons. And watch lane 3 there, Violet Vermin. Very good run then from the Violet Vermin above the 65. Again, nowhere close to the run from the Balls of Zen, but it's not a bad start then from the Violet Vermin, who did win this event back in the minor league when they had block pushing. But meanwhile then, it is going to be a run above 55 for the Sky Scouts and the Carbons. Disco Neons with a 55.5 as well. So we're going to run 10 now. And they're pushing the block down now. And very close between those 3 bottom lanes there. Carbons just inching ahead as the highest run of this particular race. Disco Neons, meanwhile, with a very similar one to what they had in their first attempt. The Carbons there get that last push right at the end there to give them that extra little bit of boost in points. 62 for the Carbons, 61.5 for both the Sky Scouts and the Violet Vermin, and another 55.5 for the Disco Neons. If we get into the second to last run for these 4. And look at over there, looking very strong on the Violet Vermin once again, above the 60. Very, very consistently good runs so far from the Violet Vermin. These could be dark horses for the gold medal for this particular event. Carbons there, not too shabby either, but the Sky Scouts, crucially, look at that, a run that's almost to 45. That's a very poor run from the Sky Scouts. It's a 46.5. Violet Vermin with a 60, Carbons with a 58.5. But let's see if the Violet Vermin can round it out with a good score here. Going down a very quick getaway there for the Sky Scouts. Let's see if that makes them work. And they get a good run here. Violet Vermin with a decent run as well. Disco Neons, again, another poor run from a team that's sitting pretty decently in the championship, but they've lost some of that momentum in recent events. But it is then the Sky Scouts with a good run. But the Violet Vermin take the lead with a 248. That's a very good score for the Violet Vermin. Carbons in 4th, Sky Scouts and Disco Neons in 6th and 8th. As we get into the last group of teams here with the Scorpions, Atomics, Will Jesters. It's a very good getaway for the Atomics. Oh, but they get stuck! The block goes on without them. What happened to the Atomics there? The Atomics had a very good getaway, but I think the problem was that they all were too close to each other, and when they got to the entrance of the block area, look at that, they just got stuck at the entrance and the block goes on without them. That is a poor attempt from the Atomics there, but meanwhile then, it's the Bubblegum Ballers with a 57.5 as the highest run so far from these 4. Let's see if any of these teams can change their fortunes around here. And oh, poor run for the Bubblegum Ballers. Strong run though from the Scorpions, lane 2. Above 60, I think that's 62 or 63. Meanwhile then, Atomics and Royal Jesters pretty much level on the runs here so far. Just a little bit above the 55. But the Scorpions though, not a bad run then. What a 62, 66.5 for those other 2 teams there. As we get into the second to last round of the day. And it's a poor run from the Scorpions, but a strong run from the Atomics there, over 65. Not bad from the Atomics, but the Scorpions there with a 30.5. That's easily the worst run of the day so far. And meanwhile, the Bubblegum Ballers, not a strong run either for the pink team. Leaders, of course, in the championship. But the Atomics there, retribution for their poor attempt in their first run with a 67. As we get into the final one, I don't think anybody can topple the Violet Vermin. We have to see the last run and how that goes. Someone can still have a very decent run here, but I don't think it's going to look like it. Royal Jesters, though, with not a bad run there. Above a 60, but I don't think it's enough. The Violet Vermin, I think, have done it. We have to check the results, but I think it's looking very good for the Violet Vermin, who, remember, come in as the team with the longest active medal drought, their first ever medal back in Event 1 of Season 1, and they've done it! The Violet Vermin are gold medalists. Neither of these 4 teams can do anything. Royal Jesters in 5th, Atomics in 6th, Scorpioneers, and crucially there, Bubblegum Ballers are championship leaders in last. But it's the Vermin, Bosses, and Sailors that take the podium spots. Well done to them. Congratulations to our podium finishers, Sailors, Balls of Zen, and our gold medalists, the Violet Vermin. Well done then to the Violet Vermin for getting a wonderful gold medal in block pushing. Congratulations also to the Balls of Zen and the Sailors. But let's have a look then at those updated overall standings. And no major changes at the top there. Team Virtuoso inching closer to the Bubblegum Ballers there. Meanwhile, the Violet Vermin catch up to 6th place, and it's the Sailors and the Carbons that swap positions for 3rd and 4th. But that's it from us from the VALVIK Marble League. Coming up next, we return to the Minor League with Event 3, Block Pushing. We hope to see you there. Goodbye.